Hello, thanks for stopping by StampsToDieFor.com. My name is Patsy Waggoner, and I'm excited to share with you today another technique how-to. Hope you enjoy it! Okay, let's get started with this week's technique called the Sunburst card. It's also, I've seen it online as a starburst. However, this sunburst design was part of a lot of architecture in the late 70s, mid 80s, very popular on the front of a garage or such. You're going to start out with 4 pieces of paper that are 1.5 inches by 4 inches. You can have them, all solid colored. I'm using here designer paper. And then you're going to cut them diagonally so that they're cut at an angle. This is the only time I use anything for actually measuring to get something even. Our card is 5, so I'm going to put a little mark at 2.5 up here and down here. And then I want this up about, 3/4. I'm going to do an inch because our ribbon will cover it too. So I'm going to do an inch. So I'm going to just draw a little imaginary line across here like this. And that's just to give us a reference point as we start to adhere our paper. Now, it's important, I'm going to use this little silicone mat here. I'm going to just move this up a little bit and put this here like this. And we're going to start with, doesn't matter which color, but we're going to start in the middle. And so I'm going to make sure I have on the edges, doesn't have to be all the way around, but what that silicone mat does is your glue doesn't stick to it. And then we're going to put this right here. We're going to line it up with that line so we have an even that center even. Then we're going to go back and we're going to put this one right beside it. Now you can see that they're overlapping, and that's totally okay. That's all part of it. And we're going to go in and add this one here. And add the next one. You're just lining them up side by side. And then we're going to put this one here, like this. So you just keep applying them. Now you can, choose whatever colors. You might want to do just 2 colors. You can do 4 colors. Kind of whatever your desire is. I usually set out the papers ahead of time so I know how I want them to go before I start to actually glue them down, because you just never know how they're going to actually look till they're actually glued, and then it's too late. So you can see that you have a point here, and then we're just going to pick this up. Now I did put glue on that first one, so it's going to be, and we have this, and then I just go in with my scissor. If you do not own this scissor, you really should. It's our paper and craft scissor, and some people only cut ribbon with it, but I've been cutting paper with it for at least 5 years, and it's still sharp. I've never had to sharpen it, and it still cuts ribbon like crazy. So there we have our starburst. Now we're going to mount that on this baked brown sugar. Now remember, you don't need lots of snail, but I do sell refills, so feel free to use all you want. But the real trick is to just burnish, burnish, burnish. And I'm going to stamp Just Because using our baked brown sugar. That's the wonderful thing about Stampin' Up! Is all the color matching is done for you. We have our Just Because. Now a little trick for how long to make your ribbon is I do one, so you're going to have 3, basically you're going to go around it once and then a half. And that pretty much gives you a great length to your ribbon. I'm going to go in here, and that little gap there that you might have been all worried about that I might not, you know, like what's that gap doing there? We're going to cover that up with our ribbon. You could cut it up with a border. A little point I should make though is that these points shouldn't go below that line. Somehow I forgot that, but I think I'm going to be okay. Again, just pulling my 12 o'clock one. I'm going to trim. We're going to place that on our Tangerine Tango card base. And voila, you have your Sunburst card. Just easy peasy. Hope you enjoyed today's technique how-to, and stop over at my blog at www.stampstodiefor.com and download this free little tutorial page with a photo of the sample, and you can compile these together all 52 weeks. We're almost getting to the end of 52 weeks. You'll be able to put them together and have a great reference technique booklet. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy stamping!